Hi, welcome to a new video. Today I'm making a tutorial about variables so you people can get started on coding for the first time in Roblox and so you guys actually do something in your life. Okay, so I switch now from uh whatever I had over there to this base plate. So let's start. The first thing that you need to know is what is a variable. Now, if you have been coding in the past, you probably already know what's a variable. It's basically in every coding language and it's one of the most important things when it comes to coding. But for those who haven't coded in the past and they're trying to learn, a variable is basically a value. You can store anything in there that has value, like for example, a string, a boolean, or a number, like anything. Now, let's start by making a script. I'm gonna make mine in script service. You can make a script in basically anywhere as long as it's in the right place because like putting something like a regular script like I don't know, somewhere like start pack might not be a very good idea. So I'm just gonna put mine in server script service. If you want, you can do the same. Now the script that you're gonna choose is this one that says just script, not the one that is like with a blue logo that's called a local script. No, just put this one, the script. Okay, I'll explain this in a bit. So just remove it for now. So a variable in many programming languages basically asks you to put or to specify what it is before you write the variable. But in Roblox, or I guess in Lua, that is not the case. To write a variable in the programming language Lua, which is what Roblox uses, you first write local. You can see here the local keyword is red. At least for me, it might be different color for you, but just write local. And then you put your variable name here. So you put space and then you put any variable name. I can put here hello, or my variable. You can put anything in there. So I'm gonna put here my variable. Okay. So from this, you have already written your first variable. Now, right now, the variable doesn't have any value. So if I were to use this my variable, or I guess this variable, in the future, it would just give me nil because it has no value. For you guys who don't know, nil means nothing in Roblox. That's what it means. It means nothing. It's just a placeholder for, well, nothing. So we need to give this variable a value. Now there's two ways you can do this. Let's start with the first. And the first way to do this is initializing it. You put here is equal or the equal sign, which make it basically saying is equal, and then you put any value in here. You can put here a string, a boolean, like I said before, a number, or I don't know. Let's see what could we put here? A table. Well, let's put a number 10. Now I did mention strings and booleans. Let me get those out of the way real quick so you guys understand them. A string is just basically a piece of text. So like anything you write here is text. In other words, anything that has like text inside it, like for example a name, you can see I can click the script here. You can see name. This is technically a string because it's text. And a boolean is just, well, true and false. That's it. Anyways, let's put here back 10. Now, what can we do with this variable? Well, we can use the print statement that we saw earlier. Because when we created the script, let me show you here. You can see, we got this statement here. Print hello world with parentheses. Now, what does that do? Let me delete this. Okay. Well, if we put here print, you can see we need to put this parentheses and obviously print. What this does is put a message down here in the output. Now, since I am using a different Roblox UI, the new Roblox UI for Studio, the way you find this output, if you don't see it down there, is by clicking the script and then clicking here output. If you have the old UI, you have to click view, which is somewhere up here, and then you should look for the logo that has like this little thing, but with an arrow. It doesn't look exactly like this, but it's gonna look similar. Anyways, anything that we print here is just gonna show up in here. So if we put here print 10, right down here it should print 10. You see there? 10. Now in here we can put my variable. And now we're using the variable. And what this should do, it shouldn't print my variable, it should print 10. Now why 10? Because my variable, its value is 10. So this variable's value is 10. So the print would understand this, or I guess the code will understand this as just simply 10. You can see there? 10. Now let's say I want to say like a message, like I was at in the other script, hello world. Well, as you saw, it used a string. You put the quotation marks, and you can type here, hello world. Now it should print here, hello world. You can see there, it printed hello world. And like how I said, since a string is a message, well, it prints it as like a message. And that's basically about it for variables. Now, there's a few things that could be pretty useful when it comes to using prints, because printing in general. And number one, you can do math with them. So, for example, I want to add 10 plus 19, you can see 29. So you can do math inside of print statements. And you can do the same inside variables. So I can do 10, oh, 10 plus 19. Consider 29 still. That's something that is very useful. And also I'm gonna give you guys all the arithmetic symbols. So here, if you, by the way, if you put these two lines here, it means this is a comment. You consider AI is telling you this is a comment, and a comment basically is like a piece of, I guess, a line of code that does absolutely nothing. So you can write anything in here and it will not error or anything. It just does nothing. It just ignores it. So here are all the arithmetic symbols if you need them. So we got the addition, addition, sub, subtraction, oh, subtraction. Then there's multiplication here. There's division here. You see here? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. These are basically the main four. You also have this, which is power, is power off, and like the I says here, uh, the modulus, but I haven't really seen anybody use this, so if you want, use this, the modulus, if you know how to use it. But anyways, these are basically all the symbols for math and, well, coding, I guess. You can also do statements to check if they're true or false. So like, you say my variable is more than 5. I mean, 5, yeah. What this should say is, well, I guess what this should print is true because my variable, which is 10, is more than 5. So if I print this, true. Let me actually change this to run. But if I say is less than, it should print false because 10 is not less than 5. Consider false. That's booleans, by the way. But what this is a statement, like an if statement. This is gonna be useful much later on for something else. But anyways, that's basically about it for this video. Yeah, I know there's not much to talk about variables. Oh yeah, I forgot about one thing. Remember when I said that you to create a variable, uh, there's two ways to, well, give it value. Well, the first way as you saw was initializing, and the second way is by giving the variable the value much later on. So I can put here my variable without local because we already have declared a variable. So it already knows this is a variable, but it doesn't have a value. So we can much later on assign it a value like 10. This is very useful because if you want to, I don't know, say, let's say you have this variable, right? And you wanted to do something like much later on the code. They say, I know this is more advanced and I'm gonna talk about it next video, but let's say you have here a function that does something, right? And it can make it like give it a value, a value to this variable when this function runs. But since we're not talking about functions yet, uh, just ignore that. Just use initializations for now. But giving it values much later is gonna come useful later too. But anyways, that's about it for this video. I plan to do another video later on about functions. And yeah, that's about it. That's all you need to know about variables. See ya.